primary election is off for tomorrow. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine recommends that in-person voting now take place on June 2nd. Between now and then, voters can cast absentee ballots. Ballots that have already been cast will remain at boards of elections uncounted until then. Local 12's ANGENETTE Levy is covering this angle for us and how this will lead to a lawsuit. Right, ANGENETTE?
That's right, Kyle. You know, the governor announced today that a lawsuit would be filed. It sounds like some citizens are going to be filing that lawsuit in order to speed this process along. Governor DeWine said today he doesn't have the power under the statute to postpone the election unless we've been invaded. He said he kind of joked that we kind of are being invaded by the coronavirus, but it doesn't fall under the category of a true invasion. So they're going to have to go to court, have a judge sign off on this, or have the legislature make the decision. And I think right now they're kind of just in a holding pattern here at the Board of Elections in Hamilton County. You know, the governor said that he had heard from a number of people who said, you know, this is going to be really tough because I'm in that high risk group and I'm not sure I should be going out to the polls on Election Day. A lot of people, that's a ritual for them, going to the polls on Election Day. And he talked a little bit about those people he had heard from earlier today.
We should not force them to make this choice. A choice between their health and their constitutional rights and their duties as American citizens. Further, we should not be in a situation where the votes of these individuals who are conflicted are suppressed.
The power to suspend an election, the power to delay an election is not one that we have. It rests with the legislature and with the courts. We will be submitting to the court for their consideration our recommendation, and as the governor mentioned, that recommendation is that there be no in-person voting tomorrow, that the boards of elections continue to receive absentee ballots though, and that Election Day be postponed until June 2nd.
Now, the chairman of the Ohio Democratic Party, David Pepper, released a statement by email just a short time ago saying that he agrees with the decision to delay in-person voting tomorrow. However, they're looking at other alternatives that they think would be appropriate, such as conducting the rest of the absentee voting by mail. And people, we should mention, can still request a ballot by mail if they haven't voted. And all of this, as I mentioned, is going to be up to the courts. I think this is going to be a little bit of a relief to a lot of the poll workers, especially. We talked with one of the poll managers earlier today. He was here picking up some paperwork, and he talked a little bit about his health problems.
It is a concern, and as a matter of fact, because of my age and I have heart disease, I am a high risk factor myself. I am concerned, but we're going to wash our hands, we're going to wear gloves during the day. We handle driver's license, and so we're going to all be wearing gloves to do that. It is a concern.
And joining me is Alex Triantafilo. He's the chairman of the Hamilton County Republican Party, but as you know, he's also a board member here at the Hamilton County Board of Elections. Alex, did this come as a surprise to you?
No, we heard some chatter earlier today that this was a possibility, and given all the other changes and things that we're seeing across the state, ANGENETTE, this made a lot of sense to us.
Yeah. You said you guys are kind of in a holding pattern. You're just kind of waiting right now.
Well, we're waiting on a court order that we anticipate will come, and once that court order comes, it will continue this election into the future, but we await to see what that court says.
And I know that I just mentioned that David Pepper had said, you know, let's maybe do this whole thing and wrap it up before June 2nd by mail. Do you see that as a possibility? Do you agree with that position?
I have to evaluate where we are, and I'm going to follow the lead of our great Secretary of State, Frank LaRose, and our governor, who's, I think, led us in this difficult time with great character. So I'm going to wait to see what the governor and our secretary have to say.
Got it. All right, and thank you so much, Alex, for joining us. And I should mention, Frank LaRose said they will not. He's directed the Attorney General, if I didn't mention this already, Attorney General Dave Yost, who is his lawyer, to not contest that lawsuit. Kyle, we'll send it back to you.
All right, ANGENETTE, thank you so much for that update. As of close of business today, the following businesses will be closed on the order of Governor Mike DeWine: movie theaters, fitness centers and gyms, bowling alleys and rec centers, as well as indoor water parks and also trampoline parks.